Okay, let us continue about top gear ratio, the gear chosen to achieve maximum vehicle speed. So this is called the top gear. The fourth gear was selected in order to determine top gear ratio. In conjunction to final gear ratio is 1-1. 1-1 ni must during top fourth gear. So after this 1-1, to minimize the friction losses in the gear, we will use the top gear. Okay, and the top gear or the fifth gear will be overdrive, but maximum speed of the vehicle or Vmax will be at the fourth gear. Therefore, the top gear is in fourth gear in order to create overdrive gear as fifth gear. So when we calculate the velocity, we will decide the maximum velocity here, and by using the formula in the previous part, we can calculate the gear for fourth gear. This one when you know about the maximum engine speed is how many, and also the tire radius also have been decided, then we can decide the ratio for fourth gear. Okay, in a graph, fractive and resistance power versus vehicle speed, you can see here the Y is the power in kilowatt, and x-axis is the vehicle speed in kilometer. You can see that in first gear, and the speed is only about 40 or below than 40 km per hour, where we have used the maximum power of the engine. So this is about the maximum power of the engine, about 35 kilowatt. And then you can see other second gear, third gear, fourth gear, and the fourth gear will be the maximum speed here, and this also can be achieved by using the overdrive or fifth gear. But it will be later because the torque is already less. Okay, so this is the characteristic of first gear, first, second, third, the fourth one. In the fourth gear, the ratio will be 1, and the fifth gear will be below than 1, or 0.8 to 1.0 ratio. And for bottom gear ratio, this gear is calculated to enable the vehicle to have maximum tractive effort. The maximum tractive effort is used to start up or during climbing a steep hill. And generally, this gear produces low speed at high torque. So at low speed, we need a high torque to move the car or to accelerate to climb the hill. Okay, the calculation for the bottom gear can be get from this first gear, the maximum tractive resistance. If you know what is the maximum tractive resistance, and we know the maximum tractive effort in gear, then we can get the first gear ratio, and it also can be calculated by using this formula, because here we will know the rolling resistance, put the rolling resistance, and we also have to know the vehicle gross weight, the tire radius, and the transmission efficiency with the maximum torque of the engine. If we know, then we can put it in here in this formula, and we can also get the hill, what kind of hill that we want the vehicle to climb. So for maximum tractive resistance and tractive force, this can be calculated by add up rolling resistance plus the gradient resistance, and plus also mg sine theta, and this one is the angle of the hill theta. And the maximum tractive force is achieved when engine is at maximum torque. So the maximum tractive effort will be maximum torque times the G during that, and the efficiency of the gear, and also the tire radius. Okay, for intermediate gear ratio, for other, after we get the G, the top gear G4, and then the bottom gear G1, so other than that, the ratio for G2 and G3 can be predicted by geometrical progression from G1 to G4. So we can use this. G1 is equals to K square 3 power by 3 times the G4. So by that you can know that G3 third gear is K times fourth gear, G2 is K times third gear, and for G5 overdrive, it's about 25% of less than 30% lesser than G4 or top gear. So you can times the 0.75 or 75%. For tractive force and resistive force against vehicle speed, information should know the equivalent of vehicle speed and the tractive force by interpretation of torque curve and the equation below. So the resistive forces can be calculated with this formula in Newton, and the vehicle speed can get from this formula in kilometer per hour. So if we make a graph, tractive force and resistance force times the vehicle speed, you can see that this is the gear 1, gear 2 characteristic, and this one will become the maximum speed. Okay, that's all.